Good morning, welcome to Mary Shores Prepping. I'm your host, Greg. I got a new flag. I hope you can read it. Let's go, Brandon. You know what that means. You know how I feel about the boob in chief. All right. We've all seen on TV demolitions of abandoned buildings where the demo team goes in there, they put their charges in selected spots, they set off, and it all collapses on the inside. We've all seen that. This is what's happening in the United States. It's a controlled implosion. And I will give you the reasons how they're doing it and why they're doing it. So first off, let's go for the reason why they're doing it. The Socialists, which there are at least 70 to 75 certified card-carrying Democratic Socialist elected members in Congress, along with card-carrying communists, Karen Bass being one of them, Bernie Thompson of Georgia being another one, who has been down to Cuba over 20 times, worked hand in hand, literally next to Fidel Castro, and was recruiting Americans down there to come back run in politics or aid them in politics to help promote their agenda. These people all believe in Agenda 2030. Agenda 2030 is sustainable living. Plain English means no fossil fuels. You're going to either have an electric car, solar-powered car, ride commuter buses to eliminate that. They're going to feed us, plant-based foods. We've already seen that. They offer, quote unquote, mass migration in their plan, meaning, in plain English as well, illegal immigration, moving people that are poorly educated, raised by socialist governments, flooding the countries that were wealthy and had resources to break it up. You see that happening now. Mass migration, illegal immigration coming up from South America, from the countries that are socialist. Nicaragua, Venezuela, El Salvador. All these places, the Dominican Republic, are flooding the United States, Mexico, flooding us with poorly educated people that don't speak English for the most part into this country to work for minimum amount of dollars. I'm not saying minimum wage. I'm saying minimum amount of dollars under the table. They don't speak English, so that will change the language spoken in the United States from English to Spanish. It will change our healthcare system from one of you have your own insurance, pay that, to one of a national health insurance, which is what the socialists want anyway, so they can control what you can use in your healthcare. They want to control the wages, and we fought a civil war over slave labor. But that's what they want. That's Agenda 2030. You can look at it and you can see how it is going forth and how they believe in it and what they're going to do. Elimination of fossil fuels. First thing Joe Biden did was eliminate drilling and pipelines and everything else because he believes in the Agenda 2030. He has Al Gore and John Kerry out there promoting treaties that are not treaties but agreements that the United States will shut down that. Joe Biden just shut down 30 more oil leases, drilling. He just shut down Alaska, ANWR, which has one of the largest oil reserves. He does not want us to do that. He wants us on solar, wind, and electric cars, and so on and so forth. So what actually happens? First off, they divide us by language, they divide us by economics, they divide us by race, which is what's already happening and happened. If we can't talk to one another because we don't speak the same language, we're not going anywhere. If we can't get out of our house to talk to one another. That's isolationism, which is what he's doing and done through mandates. If we can't work, we're creating poverty and dependence on the government, which he is doing and attempting to do. If he robs us through censorship of our free speech, the government has the final say. And if he takes away our Second Amendment, which he is attempting to do, as are the socialists and the liberals, we can't enforce our will and resist what they are doing to us. So divide and conquer, isolate us, divide us, and spew forth crap and create chaos so that we are not paying attention to what these elected officials are doing. Now let me ask you something. You have 70% disapproval rating on this administration. Joe Biden does not care. He knows he's not going to be able to either A, finish out his first term, or B, run for re-election. So he was installed, in my opinion, to get as much of this 2030 agenda in as quickly as possible. The election of Trump put them 4 years behind, or else it wouldn't be a mad dash like it is now. The Democrats, the Socialists in Congress, know there is going to be a massive loss. So that's why they are voting for all this spending to collapse the economy, to put forth wasteful spending, and to promote the Green New Deal. They know they're not going to be reelected, but the socialist plan is collapse the United States, and once that happens, they will assume their power like all socialists do and tell you how to live your life. How are we going to stop this? And what are you willing to do? First off, you have to realize what they are doing. If you don't know what they're doing or attempting to do or what their end game is, you need to educate yourself. Secondly, we need to have fair and free elections. On the news this morning, out in Arizona, the people that were investigating had their homes raided again by the FBI as a form of intimidation. Laura Boebert's campaign manager, a woman who is fighting against critical race theory, denouncing the mandates, denouncing Joe Biden, suddenly the FBI is at her front door, kicking it in and raiding her for whatever reason we don't know. It's a form of intimidation. The Secretary of State, who is leading the charge in Arizona and other states promoting that, had her home raided again as a form of intimidation by the FBI. Women who are standing up against critical race theory, forming groups, are being intimidated by this government. Censorship is their key weapon at this point right now. If you think we're going to collapse and fall, which is their goal, it's not going to be a Red Dawn event, as I said, and others. We are going to be fighting one another. You will see government troops coming into the cities to maintain their brand of order. This will be house-to-house fighting combat, in my opinion. And the people that are speaking out, like myself, right now, most likely will be arrested and put away, disappeared. You better be prepared for that. You better have a strategy as to how you're going to eat. Currency will be a thing of the past because they're going to control it. They're going to issue you credits. Money goes away. It's controlled by the government. It's a scary situation. I want you to think about it. How long can you go on your food reserves? How long can you go in your area, in your neighborhood, before you become a refugee and forced to leave, to flee to another state that has the like ideas and willing to put up a fight. You know, as a civilian, we can hold our own against other equally trained civilians. We stand no chance against a trained army, meaning the U.S. government. And they've already gone through that, supposedly looking for all the Trump supporters, kicked out their leaders, forced them into retirement. The mandates are another way to sort through that, to get the ones that are willing to follow the orders to the T, despite what they mean. That's the next step of purifying their army to get it to what this socialist regime wants. It's a very scary idea, and it's going to escalate even quicker. Government control, government retaliation, and government punishment is what these dictators are going to do to us. Just wait until they come after your faith, and that will be the sign we're there at the end. Very serious conversation, very serious ideas, something you better think about. In my time, 62 years in this United States, never have I ever thought about having to make a video about the downfall of the United States, the Republic, and the ending of freedom. This is a little longer video than I normally do, but it is very serious, and I don't think people have contemplated the outcome of it. Thank you for liking and subscribing. If this message resonates with you, please hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Please refer me. We have to get this message out. These people don't care. When a majority of the Americans disapprove and say, get out, we're voting you out, and they step on the gas to inflict more pain, they're out to get you. It's not your imagination. Okay, I'm done with my rant. Let me know what you think. Leave some comments. Get yourself right with God and get baptized. Greg out.